Hey, I want to try your best meat dish or I'm going to shut this place down.
Here, try this and let me know how it tastes. What the fuck? So I'm chilling in class one day, talking to my homie, and from out of nowhere he says, yo, you seen Food Wars? As soon as those words came out of his mouth, I looked at him disturbed and disgusted. Cause I was thinking, you fat, slobbery, jiggly boy, you always talking about food, man. Like, listen, my boy was built loose. He was built crazy. He was built like a womanly man. He was built like a riddle, bro. It didn't make sense. He was built like if Thomas the Tank Engine and Gecko Moria did a fusion dance. Bro, he was built abnormal and unhumanly. But eventually, I tell him no. And his fat ass gonna turn around and say, no man, the anime. Still disgusted by him. He looked at me with a grin and said, just trust me, man. Now listen, man, if this was any other obese boy trying to play the main character, I'd have slapped his titties and made it recoil and jiggle to slap his face like Muscle Man. But this guy was the one, because every anime recommendation he ever gave me was a straight 10 out of 10 banger. You know, he was like the crack dealer and I was like the crack addict. I kept being him for some more of his recommendations because they were top of the line, creme de la creme stuff. So as I get home, I'm thinking, you know what, let me give it a shot. Because all I've ever watched up until this point is battle anime, and I'm thinking, Food Wars must be a battle anime. Wars is in the title. I mean, back then I didn't even know there was different genres of anime, because all I ever watched was battle anime, like Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball. You know, they get straight to business, straight throwing them hands as soon as possible. But I would soon find out there was another genre that started in an E and then in a Chi. But as I continue watching it, I see this redhead lesbian here cooking up some heat. Not gonna lie, my fat ass started getting excited because I needed a bite out of this piece of art right here. But there'd be something else in this episode that I'd want to bite off too. And then I was hit with the best 30 seconds my 14-year-old eyeballs had ever seen. At exactly 18 minutes and 3 seconds, it happened.
You just woke my little man up.
I mean, I didn't even know anime could be so captivating. But as it was happening, I was thinking of so many questions. Like, did the dish lesbian boy here cook up really have a mommy milk because defy the laws of physics? I mean, she was hitting poses like Michael Jackson up in that motherfucker. Man, I was thinking, does the food have more game than me? And why the fuck was it called Food War? I mean, where was the war? I was looking at this shit like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I couldn't believe my eyes. This shit should have been called Food Climax or Food Orgasm. The name, the build-up, it was so misleading. I was watching this shit like, yo, they're gonna have a cool action scene. I can't wait. And then boom. But as the episode ended, I finally realized why my jiggly friend cracked that grin. I mean, his ass was probably in heaven watching this shit. I know he was jiggling everywhere with pure excitement, screaming "Giggedy" at the top of his lungs. But nonetheless, I was hooked to Food Wars. Now, if you ain't ever seen Food Wars and you're watching this video, you're probably more confused than a high gorilla trying to play Sekiro on the hardest difficulty. I mean, shit just don't make sense. But it's essentially a cooking anime about a kid called Yukihira Soma, who tries to top his father's cooking. Finally an anime with the protagonist that's still in their lap.
I'm leaving your freaky ass, son, cause I ain't trying to get caught up in no cloth explosion 3000. I done told you I'll leave your freaky ass if you did that stupid shit around me again, son.
Never mind, bro. My guy's dad dips in the first episode. I don't blame him, cause I would too if my kid's food was doing that to women. I mean, he the man of the house now with that performance. But once his pops leaves to grab the milk, he decides he needs to attend one of the most prestigious culinary schools in all of Japan. And this is where he has most of his Food Wars. And gets more women and men, because my boy don't discriminate, to have some of the most craziest reactions that will make you think, how did they think of this crazy shit? I mean, the imagination, the freakiness, the sliminess to create some of these scenes had me thinking, who the hell was behind the show? Was it the diddly diddly do diddy? Vince McMahon? Because I mean, some of those Brian Panty matches had a similar concept. Shit would have surprised me. I mean, outside the horny fat teens, who else is watching this show? But I can already envision a disturbing, sweaty Bill typing up, well, actually, Food Wars is a depiction of how amazing food is. And those scenes are actually there to show that the food tastes amazing. Its characters have so much depth, and I watch it for the all-round story. Ah, no, that motherfucker definitely be searching up fat bitches fighting over food. Built like a minion, with his anime body pillow stinking and sweating, with freaky color stains all over it, and Dorito grease in his long, oily hair. Talking about oil, some of these characters are dressing like they're immune to oil burns. And that's for both male and female characters. We get it, you got the milkers, but damn. I would say shit's too far here, but then in the next scene you'll get some crazy shit like this that'll just leave you speechless. I mean, every scene feels like an insult to my imagination, because I'll never be able to whip up something this blasphemous in my entire existence. Never mind week in, week out. And another thing, bro, how is this legally being sold to teen kids? It's a shonen anime. That means its demographics is 13, 14-year-old kids. I mean, shit, I get the audience, trust me. But man, some of this shit feels too extreme for the kids. I mean, we walking on the lines of a certain genre that starts with a H and ends in a tie with some of these scenes, and I can't even imagine the manga. If you owned a copy as a teenager, you a fearless dude, cause I know you ain't buying it for the story. Imagine your mom comes in and flicks through this shit. You be thinking, what the hell have I raised? Cause some of these panels are crossing the line. I mean, what you holding out for at that point? You might as well go all out, you freaky ass boy. But on a serious note, I watched like 3 seasons of this anime back in the day, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, season 1 was actually pretty good. Season 2 was alright, it was a bit mid. And then season 3 was actually pretty decent, but I dropped it halfway through because I guess I no longer met the demographic of a horny teen or an individual bit like the Eiffel Tower. As outside of those explosive scenes, the show had its moments. Like some of these food wars actually had me captivated, hoping someone would pull through. And the animation was amazing. I mean, drawing this shit with all that jiggle must have been fun. Or torturous. Like imagine you an animator and you get assigned one of these crazy ass scenes. Yeah, Bob, today your assignment is gonna be drawing an octopus or a goddamn squid, I don't care. And you're gonna make it grope this student right here viciously. And then you're gonna cut to a nice nature scene seamlessly. I mean, as an animator, how do you even react to that? I mean, that sentence was so diabolical, my accent changed midway through. I mean, whilst animating, you're either contemplating your life decisions, or you're animating with one hand and having fun with the other. Either way, animators already have it hard enough. Leave them alone. But then again, I couldn't imagine this shit as a live action. Shit would be a disaster. I mean, someone would have to get put behind bars. Shit's too diabolical to bring to life. But on a serious note, the animators really poured their heart into each episode, and the food was always drawn to perfection. At times, this shit made me want to cook, not so I could hit women with the cloth explosion 3000, but to actually create something that looked half as good as the food in the show. And the writing itself wasn't too bad either. I mean, there was some food where Soma was in, where he had to out-strategize his opponents in a clever way. Shit really had me on the edge of my seat, not gonna lie. I mean, any writer that can make a cook-off that intriguing has my full respect. Damn, I'm turning into a greasy-haired denier. But the show did have some good ratings and some serious hype when it was being released, which objectively can't make it a bad show, no matter how much I'm gonna hate on it. But the one thing my little feeling 14-year-old brain took in was Soma's dedication to his craft, as he was a chef from the hood, competing with chefs that had access to motherfucking A5 Wagyu beef. You know how hard that shit is to get your hands on? But my boy never complained, never made excuses, and hit him with his super finisher with no discrimination. He adjusted and outworked his competition, even when they had significant advantages over him. But like any good shonen protagonist, he overcame adversity and inspired. Thank you guys for watching, and may peace be upon you.
Explosion 3000.